We're in a state of emergency, a mess of confusion. The danger is great, it's plain to see. Desperate times call for desperate solutions. Fear of love is fear of pain, baby. It's just an illusion. We've been wrong, we've been right, we've been up day and night like soldiers in a revolution. We're like soldiers in a revolution. There's a war going on in here. Gotta find us a better solution. Just let it all heal. Say something real. Say something real. Hey, girl. Say something real. Won't you say something real, girl? Say something real. Do-do, do-do, baby. Say something real. 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 Say something real.
Good morning. Good morning. What's happening, family? Welcome to the show. It is Michelle Bryant here at WNOV, 860 AM, 106.5 FM. You are listening to Say Something Real. And it's a lot of conversation to get in today, a lot going on, both locally, across the state, nationally. Let me start off by saying good morning to the brothers in the building. What up, Clark Kent?
Who you with?
Man, you know what? That was a strong one today, wasn't it? That came from his soul. Came from his soul. Yes, definitely.
Not a good morning.
Not a good morning. Yeah, he was telling us about a car accident involving a motorcycle that went real bad.
On Titania, man, they steady speeding on time. We got to put those speed humps there, man. Cause it's getting ridiculous.
The speeding over there, you know, and that's the thing. I saw somebody kind of touting information about reckless drivers, and you know, it's just kind of like, yeah, okay. But there's people out here every day, you know, every little bit helps. I'm not gonna say it doesn't, but yeah, we gotta. Some of this is mine. How you change people's attitudes, behaviors, because you can put all those physical things in place. I watch people go around them car routes every day. It's like I get right up on them, be about to cause an accident, swerve over into the other lane. You know, so I'm sorry to hear about the situation on Titonia. I know that was crazy for you.
Yeah, I said, man, this got to stop. Everybody like it's too much speeding. Everybody that was out there said they speed up down here too much.
Yeah, it's a bunch of cats don't have no business out here.
But anyway, I'm good. I'm good right now.
Let me say right now. I like that. I'm good for now.
Right.
Right now. Let me say good morning to Mr. Rod. What's going on, player? How you doing this morning?
Well, Shell, it's always great to be seen and viewed. So, it's a great morning.
Did you do the question of the day yesterday?
No. And
my God.
I knew because
I forgot.
I didn't. I just knew that there was a lot going on and there's a lot that you have to get to. So I'll just double up next week.
Okay.
2 for 1.
JT kind of covered you though with his mess.
Yeah,
with the
ghost. With the ghost.
Oh, but that's just
JT kind of covered that base for you. But I literally just looked at you today and I was like, he didn't do the question yesterday.
Yeah, I purposely didn't do it because of everything that was going on, and I knew that there was a lot that slated to actually get to.
That's like today, fam.
Yeah, so I don't want to take up time.
But you good though?
Oh yeah, I just want to say that
you rocking that great, dude. You look.
That
you know what?
Man.
Hey, his Brewer hat game is crazy.
I'm a G around here.
Yeah, that Brewer hat game is sweet. I'm like,
don't forget I was a J.
Ain't been to a game.
Well, not this year, but I'm going.
He ain't been to a game.
Playoffs,
but he got all the gear.
Right.
Die hard over here.
Represent the meal.
But
man.
yeah, man, the gear is hot. I'm feeling all of that.
Yeah, well, for a small fee, everything is for sale. Everything.
Let me be clear. I don't pay. I don't pay. For everybody else, it's for sale. I don't pay. All right, let me get to a number of things. First of all, let me just say, on my way to work today, coming down Fond du Lac, ran into whatever this whole situation is involving semi trucks and tow trucks and all kinds of foolishness. We had to divert off of Fond du Lac and go to an alternative street, go down and come back over, pick Fond du Lac up to come on down. And there was this truck driver that was irritating me in this 18-wheeler. Who would not. I got my blinker on. He would not let me in. I'm like, fam, I know you see me. So I was on the phone with my brother while I was driving in. And my brother was saying, one of your bulbs is out. And I'm talking, to myself about this truck driver who will not let me in. I'm like, I know you see me. I was like, dirty. I'm gonna say all kind of stuff. And my brother's saying, one of your bulbs is out. He said it like 4 times, but my brother is a truck driver. So I'm thinking he's talking to somebody on the yard. And I'm like, even though I'm having this mental conversation with this truck driver who won't let me over, I'm thinking to myself, why my brother got to keep telling this person 5 times they bulb out? Like, who is this idiot that's not listening to him? And then finally it dawned on me to ask, I was like, are you talking to me? And my brother said, yeah, I'm talking to you. And I said, how are you telling me my bulb is out? He said, because you can tell by how fast your signal thing is clicking. Yeah. He said, that lets you know your bulb is out.
Yeah.
And so I clicked, because that was my right signal. So then I clicked my left one and it was slow. And I was like, in my entire life of driving, I have never heard that.
Yeah.
In my entire life.
That's how you know it's going out, when it starts clicking real fast.
Yeah, because normal is.
I've never heard that. Right.
But when it's out there.
Just super fast.
Yeah.
And that's what he was like. He said, yeah, I was talking to you, Negro. But I'm like, so I was like, okay, first thing I'm doing, when I find out stuff, I make sure everybody else know. So sharing it with particularly my women, my sisters that's out here. If you turn on your turn signal and it sounds faster than usual, that lets you know that one of them bulbs is out. You need to park somewhere, get out, figure out if it's your rear or your front. So I'm gonna do that when I get off the air today. So that was one thing. And then we started laughing because I was like, and this is why I always say, I don't care how fine a brother is. If you can't fix nothing, if you don't know nothing, I can't mess with you. There's nothing you can do for me. I don't care what you could be, Idris, Denzel, and everybody fine rolled up into one, move around because you don't know how to do nothing. Right. And then there are some brothers like, yeah, I got money though. Hey, babe, we on the side of the road, stranded. Right. Your money ain't doing nothing for me.
Say, woman. You just mentioned all of these people that was fine, and you left my name out.
Oh,
come on now. Come on
oh,
throw me up in there, man.
Look, as my mother would say, moving on. Second thing I want to do real quick before I get started. When I was at the NAACP conference, they always have a bookstore component at the convention. I do that when I go to CBC. Howard University runs the bookstore at the Congressional Black Caucus Convention, and I came across a coloring book. I don't have a little girl to shop for, so I shop for Kennedy. And so this coloring book is called Coloring with Coco. And it is sisterhood and solidarity. You already know we're about the movement and the power. And as you can see, the cover, these beautiful sisters. But I love when you open it, a lot of and it's hard to see, but a lot of the things for the girls to color, it's all Black girls. Just beautiful sisters, beautiful braids. There are some sisters who have shaved heads, just exquisite looking, the nails, the full lips, the whole thing. So I bought this for Kennedy, but I had to wait to give it to her because I ordered, I'm sure she probably had some, but you just got to give stuff the right way. So I had to order her crayons, Colors of the World crayons. And so this is crayons that are culturally appropriate. So you know how in the traditional crayon box, the colors that we get to color, particularly if we got to color, our color, skin color, right. You get brown, you get black, you get tan. So these colors, deepest almond, extra deep golden, extra deep rose, very deep almond, deep golden, medium deep golden. I just adore medium almond, light rose. It's just perfect. So she can color the sisters in the Solidarity coloring book, and she has all the shades to represent all the different skin tones that make up African Americans or Black folks in general. So her bag will be waiting when her grandpa gets here. He can take her stuff, but I had to order her crayons. And
wow, I didn't know they had crayons.
Yep, they got crayons, because when they did the band-aids, I had to let y'all know we got culturally appropriate band-aids. So Kennedy has her bag.
Oh, I seen them.
And I had to make sure that I brought it before I get out of here. Okay, so a couple of things.
Oh, wait, hold on.
What's going on?
What's this right here? I see right here.
I saw a birthday announcement at a club for Ride Out. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Jermaine's birthday, August 10th. It's the day after mine, August 9th. And he is having a birthday celebration.
Yeah.
And Ride Out, you want to tell people about your set?
Yeah, it's going down. August 14th is Friday at OG's Brown Deer. My 50th celebration.
Right
so
on.
Yeah, come
half
on
a
out.
hundred.
Come on out and celebrate with me. And this really means a lot because I haven't really told this story on here, but the morning of my 22nd birthday, I was almost killed. I was right down the street on 22nd and Melvina at the stop sign, heading home. It was about 2:00 in the morning. I was heading home. I just left the studio. And,
I was going to be messy and be like, from where?
No, at
2:00 in the morning. From where?
No, seriously. I was at the studio working because we was working on some records, and I was listening to the music that I just made, and just analyzing things. I'm sitting at the stop sign. This is the honest to God truth, and I'm sitting there listening to the music, and as I'm sitting there, I hear this voice that say, "Look out your window." And I turn and look, and as I'm turning to look out my window, a Jeep pulled up on the side of my car and shot my car up inside of the car. So it was a young lady that was waiting for me that I was dating at that time. She was waiting outside for me to pull up. So she saw the whole thing. So they shot my car up. I drove on the sidewalk, and I jumped out because I knew I was hit because it was that close. And I'm looking like, oh, man. So she was outside. She was like, what happened, and what did you do? Said, I didn't do anything. I was just minding my business. She said, get in the car, and we gonna go around the corner to your mother's house. That we not gonna stay here. I had no clue that this guy was turning around to see if he finished me off.
Whoa.
So as I was parking the car, and I'm looking at the car, I got holes all in the car. I'm looking at the car. I get out the car and I get in the van. And as I was getting in the van, he was coming back around. So he chased us down the street to 27th Street. And we get to 27th Street and we make a left. And we flying down the street, going down 27th Street. She crying. She's like, what did you do though? You did something? I said, I didn't do anything. I was minding my business. So I'm thinking, like, who can I call for help? Who can I call? So I called one of my friends. He stayed on 24th and Hour. He said, come through here. And as we was trying to get to 24th and Hour, now keep in mind, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Normally police is out somewhere. We flying down the street. He flying right behind us, but he trying to get on the side of us to shoot. And we made that left on Hour. And before we can get to 24th place an Hour, a car hit the van that I was in, spent the van around and knocked me out of the van. All I remember was flying out of the van. And I woke up that next morning in the hospital. But she told me that when that happened, I was thrown from the van. People started coming out of their house. So they saw me in the street and he stopped. He got out and looked because everybody thought I was dead. And he got out and looked, got back in and drove off. I woke up that next morning in the hospital. That was the morning of my 22nd birthday.
You still don't know who that was?
Nope.
Mistaken identity sometimes. Yep.
That's a crazy story.
That's why, like,
that's a crazy story.
I really don't say much.
Right.
But like I really been through a lot. Like a lot. And that's why I move how I move now.
Right,
because
right. That's how you got to.
Yeah, so it's like I move a certain way because of what has happened to me. And that was the first time I was in a shootout. That was the morning of my 22nd birthday. And the last incident was 2006, 2007. And I was like, it's a reason why all this stuff is happening to me. And but yeah, so celebrating this 50 years.
Yes, we're gonna celebrate it too. We're gonna have some fun.
Well, we definitely gonna party. We definitely gonna party. And Dre was like, Michelle, let's do it together. I was like, hey, bruh, I'm gonna be out of town right up into that week. And I ain't got time to order an outfit and to get straight. And you already know Dre gonna be super fly. I'm not gonna be in there being regular. I can be regular if it's not my party. If it's my party, I got to outshine everybody. So I'm like, nah. But going forward, we can make this an annual thing. Yeah. But I'm coming in definitely to celebrate and raise a toast to my man. Yes. And it's just crazy, to that whole thing. We always say you just don't know where folks been, what they've been through, what life is like for them.
You got L Boogie and Dot B spinning.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a hot mess. It's gonna be a mess up in there. Yeah. Let me just say, somebody put in the chat. Eddie Bates put in the chat. Good morning, Michelle. Friday, the triplets' birthday. Charlene Bates, Darlene Bates, and Judge Lena Taylor.
Wow.
Yeah, Lena's birthday is July 25th, and we're gonna do some celebrating with her. But yeah,
hey, somebody said leave the married woman alone.
No, man, come on, man. I don't do none of that.
You heard me. I was like, where was you going? Where's you coming from? It's some key information that has been left out. All right, look, family, I'm up on my first break, but when I come back from the break, got to talk about the situation that unfolded in Madison on yesterday. Social media started lighting up phones, and we saw protests happening, but we didn't know what the protests were about. People standing over folks that looked like they were at, because at the Capitol they have concerts in the summer, and it looked like it was one of those concert in the summer series, and people out dining and doing whatever, hanging out, and like it was Black and brown folks just storming the area, protesting, upset. And we were like, what are they protesting? What's going on? I got to go to break, but the video, because we heard the cops had killed a black guy in Madison. And so we started searching for any video. I was not ready for the video.
Yeah, they said it's yeah.
And
They said
I was not ready for the video. And then what they said after the video, the way the officer behaved, that there was smiles or laughter. I don't know that to be the case, but that's what people on the scene talked about, that they attempted to handcuff this brother after he had been shot in the head 3 times. He had been shot. So I don't know if all the bullets landed in his head or just upper torso, but they put their foot on this man like he was a deer that they had trapped. And at point blank range, while there are 3 officers already subduing this brother who had no gun, they tried to say he had some type of knife or whatever. They was doing their damnedest to rifle through his pockets to come up with some kind of weapon so that they could couch this in self-defense. And the original reason they end up engaging him is because they said somebody called and said he was riding his bike and looking in people's cars as he was riding his bike. And so they say he was either thrown from his bike or snatched from his bike. They're not clear because Madison police don't wear body cams. So let me go to break. Let me talk about it when I come back. But y'all, that video broke my heart. I'll be right back. He fired his weapon. All 4 officers were placed on administrative leave as is standard protocol. The Wisconsin DOJ, Division of Criminal Investigations, is conducting an independent investigation. Findings will be reviewed by a local DA to determine whether charges are warranted. Madison police do not currently have body cameras, though dash cam footage may exist. The public reacted right away in terms of protesting in the streets. And again, if you see the video, 3 officers were, or this guy was on the ground. 3 officers were already engaging with him. 3. He was not brandishing a weapon and trying to stab anyone at that point in time. This guy walked up. He put his foot on him like he was holding a wild animal in place, and then stood directly over this man and fired 3 shots into this man's either head, upper torso. I have watched the video at least 15 times because it is so stunning to see. And then after he had shot this man, they talked about they attempted to handcuff him, rifle through his pockets. And they talked about the amount of blood that was gushing out of this man. And that the officer who did the shooting is then seen later smiling and laughing with another police officer. That part I didn't see, but I know what I saw in the video. And there's no way in God's green earth you can tell me that that was a justifiable shooting. There's no way. There's no way. Madison has done pilot programs going back to 2024 about body cams being worn and getting these into the department. Thank God for the people who videotaped this. But he literally stood over this guy and shot him. Bam, bam, bam. I'm surprised you didn't even hit other officers, because that's how close he was. He leaned down over this man, put his foot on this guy like he was steadying him like a deer, and then just shot him 3 times. It was physically sickening to watch. So we will see what happens with this quote unquote independent investigation. But If this man was doing what they said he was doing, that still does not rise to the point of an execution. And if this officer who had been injured was not still under some type of threat, there was no reason for him to shoot that man. I don't know how you explain this. I don't know how you explain it. But anybody who could see, and I know those officers who were sitting there, if anybody tell the truth, that officer didn't have no business shooting that man like that.
Well, video don't lie.
Oh, they can try to make you believe it does. We watch them twist and get out of video all the time. So I got to go to a break. I got a guest that's in the studio. But make no mistake, when I say disgusting, sickening, and you just look at all, Jermaine shared a video with me yesterday of a young 18-year-old black man, teenager who was going to the park to meet his friends. The police have been trying to clear people out of the area. A white female officer walks up to this 18-year-old, knocks on his window, and, tells him he needs to leave or whatever. The young man begins to, okay, comply. Then she tells him to get out of the car. He reaches over to take off his seatbelt, and he lets her know, I am a concealed carry owner. There's a gun in my car. The minute he reaches for his seatbelt, they snatch him out of the car, throw him down on the ground. She got her gun pointed at his face, and they arrest this young man. He sat in jail for 4 days. She lied and said that the young man basically tried to kill her. And he resisted arrest. He didn't comply. But the thing is, she had on a body cam. It was all captured on video. And they let that young brother sit there for 4 days in jail before the district attorney said there was not anything in the body cam video to substantiate what the officer said had happened.
So she should be fired.
But they knew that. Yep. They knew that the same day they let him sit there. They knew it the second day they let him sit there. They knew it the third day they let him sit there. They knew it the fourth day. They knew that brother had done nothing. And they let him, even the district, they all made a decision to let that boy sit in jail, knowing that young brother had done nothing wrong.
Trying to find something on him.
And this is over and over and over again that we are seeing all this stuff play out around the country. Jay, you want to say something?
Yeah, the issue is that these laws that come out with you're able to carry a concealed weapon.
Not if you black. It don't apply to us. It doesn't apply to us.
Because this
concealed carry, open carry does not apply to black people.
Exactly, because if you have it, you are automatically deemed a suspect, a criminal. You are automatically deemed a criminal. So they would jump out and pull their guns until they find out, oh, well, you got license. What do you have any warrants, or what do you supposed to have this? But if it was a white person,
you ain't going through all of that.
You're not going through that.
Philando Castile, when his girlfriend is pulled over, who is driving the car, the officer comes on his side. He says, hey, just want to let you know, I'm a concealed carry owner. I got a gun in the glove compartment. That officer opened fire and shot Philando Castile in his chest with his 2-year-old baby sitting in the back seat. What happened to that officer? Nothing. Philando Castile didn't pose a threat. He didn't reach for his gun. He made you aware that he is a CCW holder, and it meant nothing. It was open season for a shooting.
So can I ask you a question real quick? Because I know you got to go to a break. But for the young man that was in Madison that had a knife in his pocket, was it legal for him to carry that knife for protection?
I mean, again, first, I don't know that there was a knife. That's number one.
Okay.
But number two, if they said the officer had already been injured, so if that's the case and he had stabbed him with that knife, it becomes an issue now.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the laws are about your ability to be able to carry a knife. But if you can open carry a gun in Wisconsin, I don't know why you can't open carry a knife.
But ain't it deemed a weapon?
Again, you can open carry a gun in Wisconsin.
Right.
So what's the difference between a gun and a knife?
It's a certain inches you can carry. I forgot how many
For the
inches.
blade?
Yeah, with a knife.
Yeah.
But if it's like a knife, a big knife, then that's different.
But think about that. You can't carry a 12-inch blade, but you can carry a whole gun
A whole 9mm,
in Wisconsin. So let me do this. Let me take a break, get my guest in. But y'all, when I tell y'all, and then the icing on the cake was yesterday, I couldn't find all of the documentation. I know that Ben Crump said that the independent autopsy on Nolan Wells indicated that there were missing body parts, but folks have been saying it's his throat. His throat is missing. His throat. So they don't know. And they said there was some type of contusion on top of his head. They also said that there was no water in his lungs, which meant you was dead when you went in the water. I'll be right back. All right, family, welcome back to the show. So I told you I had a guest in the studio. Let me welcome Wayne Ashley from Community Brainstorming Conference into the building. Hey, Wayne, how you doing this morning, sir?
I'm doing good. Good morning, Milwaukee.
So let me bring the mic down a little bit so you ain't got to, and bring it a little closer so you don't have to stretch there you go. All right. So I've been talking about the fact that Community Brainstorming is doing something a little unconventional for your upcoming Saturday meeting. Tell people what you guys got going on.
We have an open mic day this Saturday coming up. It's a little different format for us. We've never really had an open mic. We normally have panelists and a team of people talking to the audience. But this time we really want to open it up to the community. We're calling it Community Voices. It gives everybody a chance to talk that doesn't normally get a chance to talk. And
so are there particular topics that's on the table? Are we, people able to kind of open mic talk about whatever's pressing, or is it going to be guided discussion? And pull the mic a little bit closer. I just want to make sure that folks get, or you come. Yeah, there you go.
That's, we're going to do like the 5 W's and the H, which means the who, what, where, when, and why.
Okay.
And then a how format. So we're going to have people sign up that want to talk.
Okay.
We're going to probably give them 5 to 7 minutes, because if I gave 10 minutes, it would be only 6 people talking an hour. Okay. And we'd only get 12 participants to talk. So we want more people in the community to talk. So we're thinking 5 to 7 minutes. You sign up when you come in for breakfast. If you're an elected official, we'll probably give you 10 minutes. You have to sign up also, so that we know how many people we got. And we plan on doing this till about 11:15. So we think we should have about 15 to 20 people from the public to talk.
And I know that I had seen some of the information earlier that actually talked about there would be someone there from the Election Commission to talk about the current situation that voters are finding themselves in, with candidates getting in and out of the race, re-entering the race, understanding what they could do about their ballots.
That's right. We're really concerned. And so we do have somebody from the Election Commission coming to speak about that. There was a change in some ballot locations, I believe, or some wards that got closed down. So people may have to go to a different ward. So we want to kind of talk about where you're going to go to vote, because that might be different. And so we don't want you to go to the ward that you think. We want you to be able to log on to the web, check where your ward is, check all your criteria for voting, and find out about what you need to do before the day of the vote.
So what made you guys decide to go to this open format for this particular monthly meeting?
We had got a lot of comments that the crowd didn't get a chance to talk. Okay. And so we want to really give the community a chance to speak. So we want to hear the voices of everybody in this community. You probably can tell us something that we're not doing right, something that we may need to do, something that we did not think about. But we do want to follow this format so we can kind of track it. The who, what, where, when, why, and how, so that we have some structure to the meeting.
Okay.
Just not somebody going lily off and we can't track what they're talking about.
Good luck with that.
Right. And so we've had that in the past, and then we have trouble getting the mic back from people, but it's an open mic. We're going to have some structure to it. 5 to 7 minutes for the public. If you're elected, 10 minutes. Yeah. And we're going to go from there.
You need to limit them elected officials too. You really, that's like letting the preacher have a mic. You need to limit them too.
I know, I was going to say, like, you know how they do, in church when the organ players start playing when they go too long. That's what he needed. He need me to show up and wrap it up.
We're gonna have a time clock too.
Yeah, no, I like that idea, Jermaine. Just somebody sit over to the side.
But and let me tell you, we're really looking forward to seeing some of the people that we do see every month, and they never get a chance to talk. We want to hear from our community, and we want you to get your chance to talk.
So this is the thing too, because a lot of people ask the questions like, you know, how do you even come up with the topics, the panels? Because there is like a kind of a flow and a format to the way you guys do business. And so can the community submit topic ideas? How does that work? And if they want to, who do they submit it to?
They can submit topic issues to the chairs, myself and Martha Love. We're also trying to put on our website a form where you can submit to us ideals and things and topics that you think should be discussed.
Okay. All right. And so remind people where this is being held, what time.
It's at St. Matthew's on 9th Street. I forget. I want to say 2944 North 9th Street. We start at
right off of 9th and Locust.
I think the breakfast will be served at 8 o'clock till 9, and 9 o'clock the forum starts and should last to about 11:15ish.
Okay. Well, look, there somebody said, wait, somebody said, did he say 5 to 7 minutes per person? If so, I may not attend. That's too much time. And I want to just be clear, an elected official sent me that. I told you, an elected official, because, you know, on one hand, when, and I'm saying this as a person who speaks a lot in public, somebody tell you got 5 to 7 minutes. And you're like, that's not a lot of time. But when you stand up there and I'm putting your remarks together, like, that's a lot of time. And especially if they not no good speaker. Then they killing you softly. like, can we wrap this up? Look, somebody else, Judge Taylor said 2 to 3 minutes at the most. Judge Taylor.
We might be at 5 minutes. 2
to 3 minutes. The judge that shut them all the way down. You got 2 minutes. So is there a cost to attend? Cost for the breakfast?
No cost. The breakfast is wonderful. You just show up. If you want to give us a donation, you can. You don't have to. But what we want to do, we want to see the community there, and we want the community to talk to us.
See, you done started something now. Folks like, I'm with Judge Taylor, Daryl Williams. 2 to 3 minutes, Brother Ashley. 2 to 3 minutes.
We're gonna make
Keisha Myers, where's my cheese grits? Is they gonna be there on Saturday? You done started the whole mess. Somebody said you only get 2 minutes to talk about someone's entire life at a funeral.
So, we're gonna try this format.
I'm just telling you,
if it works, we're gonna continue.
It sounds like the community is speaking up. Somebody else said I'm with Judge Taylor. Dude, a slow talker. The worst. The worst. Look, dude, I had never done that before, but I was literally at something where somebody was talking, and I did the gun to my head.
Like, wrap it up, man.
I was like, oh my God. And I didn't realize people was watching me. And somebody saw me, they was like, Michelle. I was like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We got to concentrate. The who, the why, the what, the where, and when did it happen, and how are we going to try to approach a solution? On the structure.
Yeah, well, I'm just telling you, these folks is at y'all. Look, so somebody said, if at first you don't succeed, try doing it the way I told you to.
It shouldn't take 2 minutes to tell us what the problem is. Who's involved?
Hey, look, somebody else starts sending a list of who can't speak because they talk too long. I was like, y'all crazy. So I'm just, some of these I can't even read on the air. But they killing y'all. They was like, who thought 7 minutes was a good idea? Wait.
Yeah, Wayne.
A 7 minute. Oh, I know. When you go back and listen to the old records, I'm like, man, we would be so tired dancing at the club. You know, when you was 20, you didn't really think about how long you was dancing. But when
I listen well. I hear the community. Maybe I'm gonna take 7 off. Maybe it's 5. I listen well. Thank you, Judge. Thank you. I'm gonna push it back to 5.
I do love the comment that you only get to speak 2 minutes at a funeral. You got to put their whole life in the 2 minutes. Well, look, Wayne, we didn't know you was gonna come and get beat up this morning, but we surely appreciate you coming through. So remind people one more time, community brainstorming is happening this Saturday. What is that? July
25th.
July 25th. Judge
Show
Taylor's
up
birthday.
by 8:00. Breakfast will be served. We start the forum at 9, and we're gonna have a wonderful day here in the public.
All right, family. So I'm gonna take a quick break. Judge Ashley, thank you. I mean, Judge Ashley, Wayne
I
Ashley.
appreciate
Look,
that.
yeah, I know that elevation. Can we get the pay that go with it? Can you say cut the check? We appreciate you coming through. I'm gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back, y'all. Okay. I wasn't ready for that one.
Hey, Michelle, I was had to make a quick run yesterday, and I passed by my neighbor's house, and they had a yard sale that looked so professional. It looked like what you would see down at Juneteenth Day, right?
Okay.
So I had to stop out of curiosity to see what they had going on. And guess who I met?
Who?
Miss Mary, I think her name was Bugenthal. She used to work with U.S. Senator Lena Taylor back in the days.
Okay.
Mary, I think, I don't want to mess up her last name, but I think she said Bugenthal or something like that. I probably messed up her last name. But yeah, the first name at least was Mary. At least I got that part right.
Okay.
But she said she used to work with U.S. Senator Lena Taylor back in the days. We used to work with Senator Lena Taylor at that time.
Okay. Well, we have had quite a few folks that have come through that office. But that's cool.
Okay.
Nice to be able to make them connections.
Well, she's a black woman with short, gray hair, and had opportunity to meet her son, the grandson. He's getting ready to graduate from college. I think he said he's in his fourth year at ROTC, which means he'll be a second lieutenant when he come out. And so he's going to join the Air Force. So yeah, they had an opportunity to meet her son and the grandson and stuff. But yeah, it was nice. She had a nice setup. So I did that out of curiosity.
Okay.
And another reason why I called, the last 2 Sundays, James Cosby has been having articles in the Sunday Journal about his car being stolen.
Right.
From okay, you familiar with that then?
Yes.
Okay, because yeah, he says I thought he's not, because I was watching him on Libby Bull when he was interviewing Mr. Vivian King. I was looking at them, and he said at that time they were still in his car in front of MATC, a couple of blocks from the police station. But what the advice he gave this past Sunday is the way the police officers described the way his car was stolen. They use some type of technique where they can scan your key fob code, and they have blank key fobs, and so they can scan your code and put it in the key pod and just open up your door, get in, start up your car, and drive away.
Right. No, yep, right. That has been actually a lot of people have talked about that. It's been going on for a while now. And people talked about the technology with your key fob and people being able to get your code, and so folks have even talked about like where you leave your keys at in your house, if it's near an open window, that kind of thing, and people's ability to be able to get that information. So yes, I had planned to talk about it because I remember when his wife first posted that the car had been stolen, and it's like, how did they do this? So yes, so thank you for bringing it up. I certainly will mention it.
Yeah. And I know those steering wheel locks can be very inconvenient, but you might want to consider that because they say they probably pass your car back and go get the next car if you got at least a steering wheel lock. And they also say they have pouches where it's that RIFD protection pouch. You can put your key pod in and carry it with you, or a metal container or something like that. But yeah, the steering wheel light. I've been using that for years, just in case anyway. So yeah, people might want to consider that just to protect your investment.
No,
Okay,
absolutely. Thank you for
All right,
referencing it, JT. I'll make sure I bring it up.
All right, thank you, Michelle. Everybody have a good day.
All right. We got him. All right, we working on Tim. Got another caller? Let's get them in. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Good morning.
Hey, so Lisa, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. We have 11-year-old little girl missing. No Amber Alert was issued. I just happened to see it in the news this morning. And I was going to say, too, this guy had did some multiple stabbings last week on the southwest side. I think it was a couple of times or 2 different people. So one guy killed a man and fatally, it really injured his wife really, really bad. But he was able to walk away to the police car, handcuffed. It depends on who you are, what color, I guess, and whatever. And then also that man that was driving that bus, that coach bus, by Cathedral Square.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else was said about that. He ran, he killed somebody. And it's nothing else coming out about his arrest or what, or even if he's in jail. But all right, and I have a ghost joke for right out. You want to hear it?
I want to hear it. Let me hear it.
Hey, why do ghosts make the best cheerleaders?
Why is that?
Well, you supposed to know. You supposed to figure it out because they have a lot of spirit.
Thank you, Solis.
Oh, I was the check-in.
Oh, you got in first this morning?
Yeah, I was like, what's happening? They allowed me to get in first.
Oh, I will make sure that I comment on it. Thank you, Solis.
No, I'm saying the other people, they gave me a chance to win.
Okay.
All right, I'll talk to y'all later.
All right. Okay, y'all. So we were able to get the tech. Now, Tim, if you'll stop messing with these glasses,
I'm waiting on you.
You're like glasses on. Which is the sexiest? What looks the best for my public?
I was trying to get on the beach. I couldn't, get the lead right. Get the. I got the Harbor Park hat on, my Harbor Park shirt.
I'm watching all his little adjustments going on. I'm like, do you know I'm watching him?
And well, this is WNOV. We got to get it right.
Well, this is true.
Come on now, it's your show. I can't be perpetrating.
You will get talked about if it is.
So there you go.
But one of my favorite people in the world, in Wisconsin, none other than my brother Tim Mahone down in Kenosha. What's going on, sir? How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Love you. Good to see you. Good to hear you. I am so sorry I couldn't be here this morning.
Yeah, I thought I was getting ready to have the benefit of seeing Handsome walking through the door. I was like, I already knew you was going to be smelling good, looking good. You just messed up my day, man.
Well, we can still work on that part.
Hey. So, Tim, by now, so many folks are familiar with what you all do down in the Kenosha area around this one-day music situation that has turned into a must-attend. I see the regulars when I'm in town. Lately, I've been out of town when it's scheduled. I'm out of town this time. Nope, I'm back. I'm back. So, yep, I'll be back. But tell people a little bit about the foundation, first of all, and why the music festival has become a part of what you guys do with the foundation.
Well, first of all, thank you, Michelle. Good to be back. Thank you, NOV, for giving me, the Mahone Foundation, my family, a platform to share my parents' experience and their love of humanity, right? I have two strong Black parents, middle-class parents, raised 9 kids, worked hard around access, affordability, and healthcare and education and housing, and just created a space for folks who didn't think they could be in that space, right? So when my mom died, the family said, we got to do something to perpetuate this woman's legacy. And we have the Mahone Middle School and we have the foundation. And the whole idea is to create access for our young kids of color in particular, to make sure that they're at the table, to make sure they have affordable opportunities. It's all about access. And so I know we have a little short period of time here, but they worked really hard to make sure our kids were in school, graduated from school, had opportunities for good, high quality paying jobs. And so the proceeds from this go to our mentoring program. The Career Exploration Organization is a mentoring program which provides college and career readiness opportunities. So high school mentoring, job readiness, and they get internships and they get placed in these corporate positions post college. So just excited to talk about it. The Jazz Fest is a fundraiser for the foundation. The proceeds benefit this program. We provide international music, local music, regional music, a commitment to our young college student musicians, and hopefully have a platform on our lakefront for all of Milwaukee to come and hang out. And y'all have been supporting us for years. So
yeah, you got some mainstays up in here, boy.
Oh my God. You know, if I don't save a seat for them, I hear about it. Trust me.
So, you know, and I'm going to tell you, as much as I love the national entertainers that come, without fail, when you all begin to incorporate local young artists into the musical lineup, seeing some of the high school kids, you realize the crazy talent that's right here in the state, and being able to showcase that and highlight that. Have you heard back from any of those young people that have participated what it means to be included in this way?
You know, that's a wonderful point. It's all about the students. It's all about bridging international talent, intergenerational exposure. So we're all learning together and impacting each other. And when we reach back and grab our students and they graduate and they become full musicians and band leaders, they come back to volunteer. So not only do we see them perform in other venues, Milwaukee, Chicago, and elsewhere, they're coming back to volunteer for the same event that maybe launched their careers here, right? And so it's not just about coming to perform, it's about a relationship. And it's the same thing we do with our students that get these scholarships. It's a relationship to come back and be wholesome tax-paying students, and come back to Kenosha, come back to your region, hang out in Milwaukee. Wholesome. We gotta be wholesome. You know, their life is tough these days. We gotta prepare.
Out Jermaine can't come.
I'm very wholesome.
Now you know Jermaine's always walking out.
I be careful what you say, bro. Be careful what you say.
But the return on the investment in these young people is so rewarding to me, right? It's not about me. It's not about you. It's the investment in these young people and the talent, the God-given talent, and watch them grow up and come back and be professionals, right? And tell me what to do, right? Because they're gonna be taking care of us, right? Look at all this gray hair. They're gonna be taking care of us, right?
I see. So for folks who have never been,
yes,
and you got folks hitting me up saying what's happening. Your boy Terrence Ray just must know.
T-Ray,
yeah, he just needs you to know. He listening.
Tell him I say hello.
But for folks that have never attended, first of all, the venue area on that lakefront is so pretty. Like the very first time I ever went, and because that was the first time I had ever been to that area, was attending the Harbor Park Jazz Fest. And I was like, this is like a hidden gem down here. Who knew this was so cool? So can you just talk a little bit about what people can expect who've never been before, what it'll look and feel like down there?
You're going to have great music, great fun, great food, all on a great lake, right? We are nestled in between Chicago and Milwaukee, right on our lakefront. It's a cordoned off lakefront site, cordoned off by a pier site, and the backdrop is our beautiful, pristine water, right? So imagine this trumpeter, the keyboardist, and you're hearing the music in the background. You have this awesome food vendors, barbecue. We're kicking it off with a cooking studio, partnered with Bartolotta's, which is providing this torte dessert interactive demonstration. So it's a chance to come and relax, grab a beverage, support a great cause on this beautiful lakefront. Now imagine your Milwaukee lakefront. It's big and massive, but it's affordable down here in Kenosha, right? The lakefront, with the rocks, it's gorgeous views, the yachts, the water, the all that stuff. So you better come on down on your helicopter this time and just land. We got a spot for you because last year you didn't make it, right? So
yeah, I was Martha's Vineyard last year. I was out.
Oh, excuse me, you dropping Martha Vineyards. What's that?
Oh, bro, I'm leaving today.
I know. Well,
we leaving today.
It's a little corner. It's a little corner of Martha Vineyards called Celebration Place in Kenosha.
It is incredible. You know, we are getting close to this date, and I don't know if you guys are still doing advance tickets, because I know tickets. Talk a little bit about that, pricing wise, for folks that want to get involved.
2 straight up options. Advance tickets are $35. Those are general admissions. You get to sit anywhere. It's prime seating, actually, closer to the stage in some cases. $45 at the gate. $95 VIP tickets, all inclusive. So it's the music, it's the ticket.
That's the ticket, man.
That's the ticket right there. It's a gated area. You get, beverages, a little bit of wine, a little bit of beer, and come and hang out. And
a lot of people bring their own food and they lawn chairs and they sit out. For me, driving down, not to have to worry about any of that, just to be able to come in, show that VIP, get my wristband and walk on into the section.
Walk on in.
It's nice living, baby.
It is nice living. And those who come in general admission, you're right. They come like a picnic setting. They lay out the tables. Now, wine, alcoholic beverages is prohibited. It's a fundraiser, so we prefer that you not bring alcohol in because we will stop you. We love you, but we will stop you. Scholarships, right? Hey, we got 5 babies right there at Marquette University and 3 over at UWM.
Really
knocking it out. So that's why I'm saying this return on coming down to hang out is evidenced in Milwaukee. We have young kids working there, so it's all works together. One full circle.
So another one of your people tapped in, and I'm just gonna say it like this: you should know who it is just from me saying, "Tell my boo, I said I miss him."
So I can't drop names, but love you back.
I was proper name. Everybody know that's Latoya Sykes. My boo, hey boo.
Yeah.
Nobody will Latoya Sykes.
What's up, baby?
Check it in. So she was gonna get hers in.
There's always a place for Latoya.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, there are people hitting me up saying I go every year. It is an amazing time. Encourage people to support this brother and his family. People love the idea too that they see y'all whole family out there working.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about how you get everybody show up, man.
That's a whole nother show right there. There's 9 of us, right? So everybody thinks they know how to run stuff that come, but you know what? I tell them, think about what mom and dad did when we grew up, and they pulled us all together. As one brother grabbing another brother grabbing a sister, and we're walking down the street, we're walking in the store. It's all about the family connecting to make things work. And it wasn't about none of us. It's all about living in the legacy of my mom and dad and what we leave behind. And if they can't do that, they don't show up.
I hear you. Another one of your partners. Hey, Mahonsky.
Oh, my baby. Mahonsky.
I figured that was an inside name, so you would know who that is. Marquette checking in.
Marquette,
for a second, let's talk
another
about,
big supporter.
Oh yeah, and has put that work in. Let's talk about the headliner. We know that you got acts that go throughout the course of the day, but you got one of my faves coming in this year.
Hey, Kurt Whalum, he came last year. We had a little rain last year, so we're bringing him back so we can get a full show of him. But this brother here puts on a show, real dynamic, eclectic, and audience engaging show. His team is powerful. He's just a solid brother, right? And a lot of people have seen him, but they still want to see him year after year. So we were happy to get him back. He wasn't available originally, and they called us back, and we held the spot for a little bit. But this brother is tight. And he's going to end the wonderful evening with his classic show. So the high energy show, right? It's smooth jazz, but he does a collection of classic jazz, a little bit of gospel in there, and of course, smooth jazz. So we can't wait to have him. We can't wait to have Marquette there and Latoya, T. Ray.
Call him out. Call him out.
Call him out.
Yeah. Well, I would tell you one of the things that I was real surprised about in looking into some of Kirk Whalen's work. In 2005,
Mm-hmm.
Kirk Whalen recorded the Babyface songbook with Babyface, including my song from Exhale, Shoot Shoot. And I was like, wait, I'll make love to you. When can I sing? I'm like, I didn't realize he was doing all of that, man.
Hey, that was a request last year. He never got to it. So I told his road manager that has to be early in the set this year. So it's bad, I'm telling you. And he brings together different styles, like you just said with Babyface, right? He knows how to put that musical instrument, and he's got it tight. But that's good call on your point.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man. I'm like, okay, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it.
Don't be teasing me. You coming on down, right?
Yeah, I guess I'm tapped in now.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm gonna tell you, we got a competing event happening here in Milwaukee this year, and we was trying to flag for some of these people. Like, hey, y'all gonna need to pick these dates better, man, because a lot of your folks are gonna be they're gonna be in Kenosha.
Yeah.
Because this is family, and you support family. You go down and you understand what it's for. You know. So
we know that people have options, and we appreciate those that choose us. And there are other things going on, but we stand by our history. We love those that want to come down and support us. If they can't make it, provide a donation is an opportunity to do that. But we certainly hope that Milwaukee shows up strong.
All right. Well, they
often do.
Look, that's all they do. You got some more folks tapping in. They just said, "Tell my man what's up." So, yes, no, you got family on this end. You're gonna have to get in the building one day, though, man. We only talk to you once a year.
I know. I'm ready anytime. You know, there's a lot to talk about with what we do.
You bogus, Tim.
No, you ain't never called me that. Come on now.
Because man, we only talk to you once a year. And it's so much that you do that we could be keeping up with and supporting. So you gotta tap in more than for the festival, man.
Well, let's do that. You know, like I told you, let's get some of those students. You know, enough of me, right? Let's hear from the students that are benefiting from this great foundation, obviously, but also so people can see the real work and the return on their investment. So I would love to have, last year we had one of our students on with me that was a performer. 2 years ago, we had another student. So I would love to come out as often as possible. I don't have any problem talking, that. We'll keep talking.
Oh, let's do that. Because I think that it does make a difference when people have an opportunity to see where that support goes and how young people are benefiting. Yes. So yeah, let's make that happen. Somebody said you ain't got no tickets to give away.
I'll let y'all handle that.
I'll talk to the management team here at the station to see what we can do. Well, Brian, I want to tell you I appreciate you. The work is important. The goal and the mission, even more important today than it's probably been, given all the challenges folks are running into in terms of finance and education, getting access to financial aid, resources. A lot of folks are tapping out because they can't afford to go. And so, when we start talking about every dollar matters, every little bit helps, this is one of those things that definitely sticks out as a jewel in the community.
You hit it on the head because the national politics around access and affordability for our young kids of color is at the highest level of attack, right? So we have to, as a Black foundation, double down on our mission to make sure our kids of color have access to all these educational opportunities, because the attack on our kids getting a quality education and preserving our history is under attack. And so the mission, we double down on our mission, we watch our kids, we protect our families, because we all we got. And it's under attack.
All right. Remind people one more time, date and how they can get tickets.
August 15th, Saturday, August 15th, kicks off at 12:45. Website is MahoneFoundation.org.
All right, Tim Mahone. See you on the 15th, bro.
Helicopter pad is waiting for you.
I'm so
Michelle, I love you, and I love all the wonderful people at WNOV giving us the chance to talk about this. But I'm going to take you up on coming back sooner than later. We got 3 more weeks. I can come back again if you need me to. Bring some of them kids out there. More importantly, come and hang out with us. It's a beautiful night. Good music. Love you.
Love you back, fam. We'll talk soon. Peace.
Talk soon.
All right, y'all.
Thanks, everybody.
Yes, sir. Tim Mahone, the Mahone Family Foundation, doing great work. Let me go to commercial break. We'll be right back. So let me take a second and just highlight the young child that Solis mentioned when she called in. I have been looking for the information and have it. An 11-year-old little girl. I think her name is pronounced Mallory Washington. She was described as wearing where is she? Blue hooded sweatshirt, blue and white pants. She's about 5'5", 130 pounds. She's rocking long braids with blonde tips. She was last seen walking near, not far from me, near 107th Street and Silver Spring Road at 4 p.m. on yesterday. So right now, I went to go see if the alert was still out regarding this child. It does not look like she's been found. If anyone has anything updated, please text me, let me know. But if you have any information, please call the 4th District Police Station. That number is 414-935-7242. Again, 4th District Police Station, 414-935-7242. And her name is Mallory, I believe it's pronounced Mallory Washington. And thank you, Solis, for flagging that and making sure it was on our radar. Real quickly, in relationship to what JT brought up about the car theft of James Causey, who, like I said, I saw it when his wife first posted it, that the car had been stolen, and they were asking people to look out and see if they saw it. Audi. So he got the car back. And he's written a couple of pieces about this. And one of the things that he said is when he got the car back, it was damaged, about $6,000 worth of damage. The Audi had been on a high-speed chase. The driver's seat was broken. Passenger side was scraped and gouged. And to add insult to injury, a box of dog treats that didn't belong to my pet were strewn all over the back seat. So somebody had a dog in the car, in his stolen car. The car had been missing for 7 days. He said it felt like it was much longer, though. And the thing that he talked about, and I'm just looking for it real quick. He said there were videos that people had sent him in which he had an opportunity to watch teenagers, some who didn't look a day over 17, driving his car through Milwaukee in the middle of the night. One video showed the Audi sitting in an alley near South 38th and West Orchid around 3 a.m. Several young people climbed out, appearing to be going through other vehicles in driveways. Watching strangers treat my car like it was disposable, he said, made him angry. Police said they believe whoever stole his Audi used electronic equipment to bypass its security system and program a blank key fob, allowing them to drive away without damaging the steering column. That realization may be the most unsettling part of the entire experience. He, talks about, if this technology is that easy for for thieves to get in their hands, every driver should be paying attention. And so I'm looking to see if he had said more about, and let me just see if I see it real quick because I got to get out of here. I'm not going to be able to have time to do it today, but that technology, and I want to say I've talked about this before, but it might have been a couple of years ago when I first kind of learned, that this was going on, that people had the ability to make a duplicate of your key fob. And again, you think about this, how does teenagers get a hold of this technology? Like, that's crazy. But if it's out there, you can find it. Couple of quick things. Somebody said, any free Crowley for Governor yard signs available anywhere. I want to put them in every yard on my block. Reach out to David Crowley's campaign. I'm sure they can get you some signs. What's going on, Colorado? See you checking in. I will also say I will talk about the story that came out yesterday regarding the county executive and a old social media page. Didn't have the time to get to it this morning. A lot of people, like, is this a deal breaker? Yay, nay. I'm just gonna say, after Donald Trump and all his scandalousness, I don't know what's a deal breaker anymore. But Black folks get handled differently. Black folks get handled differently. So we'll see. The one thing I wanted to mention too, real quick, on the Nolan Wells situation, because I mentioned him at the beginning of the show this morning. It's so funny to me how everybody in this little town is rallying behind the sheriff, because there were questions about, hey, this was called a non, what's the word I'm looking for? There was no suspected foul play, and all these judgments came out super quick before any thorough investigation had really been done. So as the national NAACP, Ben Crump, Al Sharpton, as people are questioning the sheriff about the rush to judgment here, now the community wants to come out and rally behind who? The sheriff, not behind the 18-year-old child and his family that was, found dead. But we gonna rally behind the person who rushed to judgment to tell everybody what it wasn't before any autopsy had come back. So I forgot that part. It was so irritating. I wanted to make sure that I mentioned it. All right, family, that is a wrap for the show today. I will be doing my show live every morning. I just won't be here in the studio. So I just wanted to let people know that I will talk to you next week. Jermaine, Clark, thank you, bros, for everything today. Family, I will talk to y'all next week. Be safe. Peace.